Whately Board of Assessors meeting, August 3rd, 2024. First item is approval of minutes from prior meetings. We have, August 29th and September 19th minutes of meetings.
They go into executive session on the 19th.
Does it say that?
No, that's why I'm asking. Should it say that if we do that?
Yes,
It's
I
supposed
think it
to
should.
adjourn.
Yes. Or did we just go one?
So,
Just one of them? 19th? Okay.
I think so.
Well, meeting adjourned at 10:30, the other one was meeting adjourned at 8:45. Yeah. So you're saying just on the 19th?
Yeah. That instead of saying adjourned, I think it should say went to executive session. We
Okay,
did that day.
okay, so you can add that to
That was in the other room.
for the 19th, that we went into executive session at the end of the meeting to talk about property values, and we did not return to open meeting. Okay, with that change, motion to accept the meeting, the minutes of
Both
both meetings.
moved.
Okay, second, okay.
I'm getting better.
Roll call vote, Mike?
Agreed.
Okay, Jenny?
Yes.
Brad, yes, okay. And it's approved with that amendment that you're adding for the 19th. Next item on the agenda was, we talked some in the last meeting of whether we wanted business cards, hang tags, or something else to tell people who we are, I guess, when we go make inspections, and if they're not home, to leave some information that we were there. I see where Stephen has provided us, copies of, business cards for people here. And, you have one like that?
I do not.
Okay. Whether either for the town or for RRG, you don't have a business card, either one?
I have a business card for RRG, but not one that, is, in uniform with those cards.
Okay. So are you proposing that you get one? As well as whatever the board decides?
Yes. I like,
Is that something we want?
I like the business card. I think we talked about something you would hang on your, business card, I think would be fine. And Jenny had mentioned leaving the card and something else that said we were there. We're from the Board of Assessors. We were here today. You weren't here.
We walked around.
We walked around, whatever we did, yeah, something like that, yeah. A very brief, it doesn't have to be anything. Doesn't even have to say we walked around the property.
Right.
We were here, this date, and leave it at that. I think that would be a softening approach
Yeah,
to what we
did you,
do.
could that just go on the backside?
Yes, you're exactly right. On the back of the card, it could say, we were here, and then blank date, we can fill in the date.
Yeah.
It could be, it doesn't have to be
Sorry to have
elaborate.
missed you, but wanted you to know
Yeah,
something.
I don't think it has to be elaborate, but it's certainly
I just think people will say to each other,
not nice of them. Let us know we were here. That's
Okay.
just an opinion.
Do we want one for each of us, so 3 cards, or do we want one just saying Board of Assessors?
if they don't
Board
have
of
photos,
Assessors, yeah.
Board of
Board of
Assessor is
Assessors.
fine.
Board of Assessors,
That'd
fine.
be fine.
Yeah. Any questions? Go to, does it, go to,
Is it
to the,
to a website or something?
yeah. Or just even the email or,
Okay. So these were printed somewhere out of the office, right?
Correct.
And is there a minimum order when you print?
I would
Probably
have 100.
Yeah.
100? Probably. I mean, you could probably do less. I've done
Depends, yeah.
thousands, and you get a discount the more you do.
Yeah.
But we don't need a ton.
No,
We don't need 50.
how big your neighborhood?
I was just saying. No, we don't need any.
Don't need that many, yeah.
40 is my neighborhood.
Okay.
no, but also if they're generic,
Yeah,
then the less.
they're generic. They don't have our names on it. I think that's a good idea, especially when you guys go to my neighborhood, and I've been trying to avoid that neighborhood, for obvious reasons.
Okay, so we would put, instead of the names like these, okay, it'd just be Board of Assessors on the front with, the email address and the phone number. And what do we want on the back?
You had mentioned that, a web address. No, I'm sorry.
Well, it's on the front, so.
We were here on this day.
Yeah, sorry, we missed you when we visited your property.
Anything like that, although if they're there. How about we were just here? Because if we leave a card and they're there and it says, sorry. Do you like that, Fred? We were here on this date, if you had any questions, there's gotta be a phone number.
Do we even want to put a date? I mean, otherwise you gotta keep putting the date.
That's true, as long as we say we were
We
here,
were here
we were
to
here,
do an inspection of your property.
right,
Update
our records, I like that more,
Update our records, make
Yes.
sure everything is current.
yes.
If you have any further questions, please call or
Contact us.
contact us.
Yeah, I think that's,
You don't have to worry about what days
Date,
we were here, or
nothing.
who was here, or how many were here, yeah.
right. I think that's, again, from my seat, not having done this as many years as you have,
Yeah. Okay.
I think that the, town would enjoy a softening approach, the town members, the town citizens would enjoy a softening approach as to who we are and what we do. And we're not there to collect taxes or increase your taxes or decrease your, we're there to verify, it's just some sort of softening approach.
Stephen, read back what you wrote.
The front of the card will be Whately Board of Assessors. We'll have our contact information there. In the back of the card, we'll have a blurb to the fact that we were here to inspect your property, to update our records. If you have any questions regarding the visit, please feel free to contact us.
We want to check out, inspect your property and just say we were here.
To verify our records,
Yeah.
yeah, you could do that, yeah, make it simple, less is more in this type of communication. Actually, in all types of communication.
All right, so on the front, we'll have Whately Board of Assessors, contact information. The back of the card, we'll have, we were here to verify our records. If you have any questions regarding this visit, please feel free to contact us.
Pretty simple. You can't read into that anything more than, we were here, we're verifying records.
Okay,
It doesn't
I
say,
agree, okay,
I agree with that, yeah.
okay. Okay, so for whenever you can get us to do that if you want to,
And I believe any print shop will do any amount you want. I mean, I bet you.
probably, but there could be a minimum 100 or
Might be,
whatever.
but that's 100 can't cost us $49. I bet it's not much. Yeah,
No.
I just know it's not, having done business cards my whole life.
Okay, other item that was, well, okay, go through that. Sign off motor vehicle abatements.
Now that I'm at 101, I'm good with everything now, right?
Leave it.
Time consuming.
Thank you.
Yeah, I get it. Trust me, I get it. But you're good, I get it.
This is things. I have price warrants. We collected that.
Card all the way down,
Yeah,
wide three.
one stays here, one goes Assessor and one goes back, I think. Is that how it goes?
Yeah, okay.
Something like that. Okay,
One stays here, one goes to where?
Probably to the people.
to the treasurer, we,
The treasurer. Okay. You said assessor. I'm like, wait a minute, that's the one that's staying here.
I could say accessory. Third piece of paper.
no, you don't do anything with that. I could think that's their information.
Okay, very good.
For the warning.
Down to the warrant for him to go after. Whately.
Okay. That's not, doing all business, okay. You're asking us about office supplies? We have some sub-accounts in our budget for office supplies, hardware maintenance and printer repair / computer repair, $200.
That,
I think in a past, we've let the assistant assessor go ahead and purchase stuff, I guess as long as it was within these dollar limits, we didn't approve. To my knowledge, each time she needed to purchase something under these 3 accounts. So I guess I would just continue that up until that dollar limit is,
will that cover our $90 for supplies? That's not business cards.
well, could be.
That's probably what it's gonna come out. So if we exceed the business cards, would that require another meeting?
Well,
Let's just-
we'd have to take action to approve the expense, I guess, but I think it's within
Okay,
the budget. Okay, you have it?
I have a question. One of these we're signing and the other one we're not.
Well, one goes with the cover on top.
Yeah,
Okay, the warrant, and I don't know what the other one was. Was for the rebate.
okay.
So I'm not sure we need to sign the first one either. 'Cause-
Okay.
But I took a look at.
Well, because it says we had our sister sign for the board, so if,
Okay, so we didn't need to sign the one.
Oh,
okay, but I'm not sure we can just let Steven sign because he's not part of the town. Or, because if it
Because
was in
he's
the
not
board,
a
or-
town employee where
Well-
Cynthia was a town employee.
well, I guess,
That sounds like a Peter Kane question.
yeah, I don't know.
Okay. That is there a distinction,
Yeah, there's a
given
distinction, yeah,
that he, in terms of signatures?
right. Because some of
Good
that,
question, Fred.
that started with COVID, I guess. That
Oh, that she
she had
was
some
signing.
stuff that was kind of routine signing. And didn't wait necessarily for the board, well, I don't know how often we met during COVID.
probably not much
And
at
we
all.
decided to just let her sign the routine stuff. And she may have told us what she signed, or we may have seen it at other meetings, but. So I guess you need to ask, I guess. Peter, if, you can sign for the board? Or is it just has to be? Because you're not an employee of the board.
mhm.
You can sign
You
for the board
specifically.
like the past clerk did,
Right,
because he doesn't know that history that he just said either.
right. Well, are you signing for other towns like this? Are
I
you
have
doing-
not.
others, they're all signing, they're signing all of that.
Yes.
Well, what do we wanna do? Do we want? We've been meeting regularly, I guess.
Yeah, are we
They
slowing
wanted to
anything
sign-
down?
Yeah, well, right, would we be slowing down
Are
the
we
process?
slowing anything down by having us sign? I mean, I think you should ask so we know,
Yeah,
then let's decide what we wanna do.
okay. Okay, so we can bring that up to next meeting, okay?
Could I, if we're done with that particular subject, this is an email from Peter to, the board, do we wanna let Peter know that we're anticipating ordering business cards?
No, I don't think we have to go back to Peter every time.
We don't, no, he just wants to know what if we are gonna comfortable with the budget, or what he's saying.
Right,
And I don't see any reason to change what's been working for a long time, I mean, I think.
because the other, most other expenses, I guess. like software and the consultants that we've hired, well. The board signs some of that stuff, like we've got here for Catalyst for the software. And I think the select board also signs off on some of this, right? I think they're the final say. Yeah, these, other expenses for software, I assume somebody checked these dates that go back to April.
Yes,
Make sure we haven't already paid these. April, well, it's April and June,
yes,
okay. And Franklin County Board of Assessors in here. $10 for each, okay, there's also, is there one in here for MAAO? For myself for the $75, has that been processed?
that has not been processed. And I did recently see that.
But this is something that I, just the chair signs, right, department head, okay,
Yes,
Are you used to seeing those?
yes,
You are, okay.
yes, we used to see,
Yeah, I hadn't, I just didn't know that.
so it's requirements and bills for the software, if you wanna look at it.
I didn't, I'm curious.
And that's gonna continue, we have that,
That quarterly,
yes. It's in the budget for the full amount, yeah.
and that's
Well,
what,
for them 3 plus the 30 was for the assessors.
CAI.
Yeah, CAI, yeah.
it seems like a lot of money for software, but
Yeah,
and again, I don't know exactly which kind of data you're crunching down on, actually do, but.
so good.
I don't have to sign this,
I
right?
know. After, what do we do here with that? Monthly reports, motor vehicle exemptions, that's just for information.
yes, so
Well, you want looking for a signature, I guess. Well, remember to pick it in the past.
Who pays the dues? For first,
$10 a person.
what's that, our expense?
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine.
no, the town.
Oh, the town pays for it?
Yeah,
Okay.
town does.
That's
that.
what I was asking you.
Yeah.
software before.
Yes, sir. April, May, March, April. May, okay.
I was one because of others and that's 100s.
Rest is a pretty quarterly expense. We don't have to sign that.
I know.
That's in the contract, I think, that we sign every year, with them, right, that expense.
Is this the FCAA or, oh, Catalyst?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's in there, so. it's
Oh,
like-
NCIA,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, AI, yeah.
Okay.
There's one big expense for CAI and then smaller updates.
For the other monthly reports for the abatements, motor vehicle abatements. I guess we don't get to sign this.
Just look at it.
Here, yeah.
So, excise tax is paid in advance.
Yes, you pay for the whole year.
That's it, right? And then sell your vehicle halfway through the year, you get a abatement.
Yes, as long as it's $5,
Understood.
$5 or more. Otherwise, it's not worth
Understood, yeah,
processing.
understood.
I told you about the bill I got for 17 cents, didn't I?
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's what it is. That's, you pay your taxes in advance, people sell their car, you get it. Exactly. All three are like that.
Yes, every month. Going back to this, approving these expenses for these three accounts.
Yes.
It goes back to, I guess, the question, you know. Stephen is not a town employee. So can he actually go purchase these? For a town, or does it still have to come back to the board here? See, before, like we said, Cynthia was a town employee. So Stephen
Are you
is,
bonded
Yes.
to protect the towns you work for or just RRG?
I don't know, I have to go back to the contract to see.
Right,
What was in
I
there.
think that would be the question.
Could you, I guess, elaborate on that, just from my understanding?
Bonding is,
Insurance, is that insurance?
yeah, isn't it? Like liability insurance, protecting the larger entity for misdeeds.
Hmm.
For in simplistic terms, I think that's pretty much true. So to authorize you to access the budget, I think the town needs the same kind of protection. I'm kind of making this up, but that's my guess.
It's we're talking indemnification, what it's called. Contractor shall indemnify, defend and hold the town, its officers, boards, employees. Harmless from and against any and all claims, demands, liabilities. Costs, expenses, attorney fees arising out of the contractor's breach of the agreement or the act's negligence or misconduct of the contractor or the contractor's agents or employees.
RRG will hold the town harmless.
Yeah, that's what this says, yes.
But I don't think that's the question though. I think the
Yes.
question is, see, you know, who's saying, CAI saying, hey, you owe us, the bill is past due. You haven't paid it. Does it matter in terms of protecting the town from a lawsuit, whether Stephen's a town employee or not? I don't think we know the answers to these questions.
Oh,
So, I mean, Kane's instruction was find out what the board's procedure is. And I think the question you're raising, which is a good one, is should the procedure be any different given that Stephen is not an employee of the town? And we don't know. But who's the town get that kind of answer from?
Question with that. Who are, I thought you were employed by the town, you're employed by. Who is your employer?
RRG.
RRG, is that the employer?
Yes, it's RG is the direct employer.
Okay,
Whose services through me are contracted to the town.
so RRG is your employer. I thought it was the town, so. Then RRG, we just heard a, more or less disclaimer.
Well, they're saying they're responsible, not the town, and Stephen messes up, but I don't think that's the question in terms of this financial stuff. I think the question is, can some other party, is the action some other party could take against the town, are they affected by Stephen's employer status? Right, we don't know. But
I'm guessing,
it's not our
no,
call to make.
I'm guessing RRG has, you know, anyway, errors in insurance. In case there's a mistake.
well,
But that
because,
doesn't protect the town, that protects them.
yeah, I don't know. Do you understand our concern, but we need to
We could phrase
talk
it,
further some more.
I think somewhat, so there's kind of, like two parts, so for sign, in purchasing, like example, like for these cards here,
Yeah.
I would send the order to, the administrative assistant to the town manager, and they would place that order. Um, alongside other office supplies like an equipment. In regards to, I guess, the town's interest with other, like contractors such as, like the Taos for the camera system or CAI Technologies for our mapping software. It's the question, like verifying bills that have been paid or unpaid. I guess there seems to be like two parts of the question. And I kind of understand the first one, but
I think the town needs to tell us whether it matters. that Stephen
From a
is,
liability point of view.
yeah, Stephen is a, I don't even want to use the term private contractor, because it's not you. Subcontractor, I guess, is more accurate than a town employee. In terms of procedures regarding purchasing and making payments. You know, I mean, I'm sure it happens all the time that somebody messes up, no, doesn't do stuff they're supposed to do. Question then is who's responsible? Well, we know in your case, it's David with a M. But if an individual or a business was litigious, that just, to me, that just means they could come after both the town and RRG. And we just don't know what the procedure is for that.
Gotcha.
It's not, it has nothing to do with you
Sure.
personally. It's just, okay, we're in this new setup. How does that work?
This is a question that one of the board members would like to pose to the town, or?
Probably.
Yeah, I think that's what should happen. I think we should table this until we get some information.
Could you reiterate for my purposes what's going on here with regards to expenses? I'm not sure I'm following it. For him, basically can't sign because it could be a problem for these expenses.
I think the question is, well, for the money that's, well, he isn't signing, Fred is signing to pay bills.
Right.
And that's been the practice all along, I think.
Right,
So. But then there are some things that during COVID Cynthia started signing for. And Fred raised the question of, can Stephen sign for those same things or
Okay.
not? Because
Okay.
he's not an employee of the town.
Okay,
And I think
Okay.
that's a smart question and we don't know the answer.
so we will get direction from Peter, you think? Yeah.
Or, you know, they should have
That might
a
be
legal
the-
consult or insurance consult or something.
Might be the easiest
Yeah, I mean,
approach
it's,
versus,
let me just, I'm just gonna answer a question of the contract, the section, the contract with RG under liability of the town. It says the town's liability hereunder shall be to make all payments when they become due, including those due directly to the contractor and those to subcontractors whom the contractor may engage to complete relevant tasks. It says, town shall be under no further obligation or liability. Nothing shall be construed to render the town or any elected or appointed official or employee of the town or their successors in office personally liable for any obligation under this agreement.
so if Stephen goes on a 6-month bender and doesn't pay anything.
Yeah,
RG is off the hook for any debts owed due to lack of payment. The town would not be off the hook.
Well, it says the town shall be under no further obligation or liability.
But that the town will make the payments. So if we're responsible, the town's responsible for making payments, and it doesn't happen because Stephen doesn't hand you the paperwork, or
Yeah.
bear the paperwork, or Jess, whoever, then that makes the town responsible for that.
Right, okay.
Are you W-2 employee or are you 1099?
W-2.
Okay. I'll ask Dr. Peter, and see what we get. Talk about that in the next meeting,
Yeah.
or we can invite Peter to our next meeting if we want to talk direct to see. We understand everything, okay? Okay, next item here is, warrants or commitments. Excise, is there excise tax?
Approving the treasurer, the collector go out. And send these bills.
Yes.
We're gonna get. And these are just based on age of car, based on
No,
Chart.
yeah, the
based
state
on
has
a chart,
to.
yeah, it's based on a chart, yeah. But basically, it's running this by the board saying, we're gonna send out this bill. And there's no reason for us to go to each one of these and move it over.
For some we already have done that,
Yes. That's been done, right?
right?
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, the other item here is, rollback for, chapter land under, or agricultural and horticultural land tax for property on Weber Road. You explain why we're doing this, Stephen?
Yes, so there is a property, that was in, chapter land. There was a sale of parts of that, property. And the intention of the new owners is to build a single family home. In order to do that, they need to remove this, piece. The acreage is listed on there, I think it's like 2.2 or some acres, to build a single family home. And this, will allow that process to move forward.
You're taking land out of the chapter 61,
Yes,
and then, therefore it's gonna have a different tax base,
yes,
set the bean property.
yes.
And
And we sign regardless of they still have to deal with his, so which 61?
There's in 61A,
There's just, agriculture.
Okay, so
Yeah.
do they have to do a zoning process too, to be able to build?
I don't believe so, but I can follow up with that.
When you say zoning, they still have to have a certain amount of frontage. That's zoning,
Yeah, I think they've gone through that.
right?
That or the building inspector when issued a
Right.
building permit. They
Right.
didn't have-
Okay, I'm just wondering
Yeah,
if
sure.
if the order, the
Yeah.
sequence of things.
Yeah,
So now how is that land valued now that it went from flat agricultural to residential? How are they gonna come up with a value on that? I'm sure that it's another chart,
but whatever our land values are
right?
for that area.
Okay, gotcha. I don't know why I knew it was the bean property.
Okay. Any other new or old business?
Just. We had two situations in our last. Lauren.
Hi,
Okay,
how are you?
Right.
Okay.
um,
Come on
good
in.
timing, in our last going out where the resident at the property was not the person who received notice of inspection. Do we have something in the notice that goes out that like directs people to tell who's ever there that they got the information that we're coming? I mean, it might not have happened in either of those cases anyway, because one was litigation and one was COVID related,
Right.
perhaps, but just, can we add that to the notice?
Sure. So some form of response that the notice was received.
No, that they, an instruction to tell them, tell who's ever receiving it, if you are not the residents of the property, please notify who is.
Okay.
You're expected to, whatever you're instructed to.
Well. But the notice should go to the owner of the property.
Right, but we had a lawyer and the landlord both not tell the residents that we were coming.
Right, I don't know how you control that, it's up to.
Right.
The landlord to do that, the lawyer, I'm not, I guess. Overly concerned, I guess, yeah, that is somebody.
I
We've had-
think it's reasonable for us to ask them to do it. We can't control whether they do it, but we can control if we ask them to do it.
Well, yeah, I guess it doesn't matter to us whether it's the owner or. A landowner, landlord or the renter that lets us in the property.
No, it doesn't matter to us, but
Doesn't matter.
it does matter to us that we're not surprising people and scaring them because nobody told them. And I think both those parties were both.
Yeah,
And how you monitor that.
yeah,
You don't monitor, you just request it.
but
When you send out the card. and
Yeah,
request-
just request, if you're not the person who's living at the property, please make sure whoever is receives this information.
okay. So if any notices gone out recently,
No.
inspections, nothing, okay. we'll talk about that in the next session, okay? The next meeting here. I'm not available till the 24th. We continue on a Thursday. Well, that's the soonest anyway, 24th of October. Is that agreeable?
Is what agreeable?
October 24th. I like to go back to the 10th unless somebody has a problem. 10 to 12. October 24th, it's a Thursday. Our next meeting, is that okay?
Yeah, yes, yes.
Okay,
Before can I go back one? Wait, let's stay with this till we've got, so everyone agrees at 10:24 at noon, at 10,
to 10, October 24th
at 10.
at 10, okay.
Yeah, just wanted to discuss new and old business, just as information for the board. I did have a dental appointment with Gentle Dentistry. They recognized my name.
Yeah,
And they go, "Are you the appraiser? I mean, I'm sorry, assessor." I go, "Yeah, that's me." They go, they said, back to your point, that we needed to give our tenants 24-hour notice and we didn't do it. We're talking property 63 A and B, I think.
yeah,
He said that, I also told him, since we also measured this building, so we're verifying that's what the card says. They're very friendly. He said 63, is it 63 A and B? I don't know if that's 61, 63. He said, nothing's been done to that place forever, so.
yeah.
In case you're wondering is, we didn't get in. I'm not sure in this case it was 100% necessary, but to your point, that they didn't feel they had enough time to notify the tenants. On a different point, I did talk with Chester Rogers. He is the Franklin County inspector for plumbing. I asked him those questions about people, how do you tell if someone's closed out the permit, and who's responsible for closing out that permit? What happens if the house sells? And he just kept referring us back to the building inspector. That hasn't been closed out, then we need to get back to the building inspector. That should be addressed. That's assuming a permit was pulled. We didn't get into that.
We know, but this board has never done that.
Never got
We
to
know,
them.
there's
Stop
been, yeah,
But if we know of a property that where a permit was pulled and not closed.
Can I just add something there?
Yes, thank you.
The only thing that really matters to you about is if we're going to be doing supplemental tax billing, we
Okay,
need to be knowing when the certificate of occupancy
yes,
has been issued. So that's the important thing, whether they close the permit or not. We need to know if we get the certificate of occupancy or a temporary seat certificate.
And who, is that also coming? Do we know that? Is that part of the system?
It should be part of the system. We can check it. But to be honest, in some of the towns I've worked in, I called the building inspector to see if it's been done.
and
Even though it's like, I go and look at a property, or somebody buys a property, there's a new property, I'm assuming that it was finished, so I call them to find out when the date, of the property, they issued the certificate of occupancy. And they don't always update the system right away, it might take 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, they're busy too,
Right.
computers are the last thing on their mind for somebody.
sure,
Right,
but that,
and with short staffing everywhere, it could be longer in places.
So we need to check and see who's, if we get a chance for new construction. We've got that one, we looked at the other night up in,
Masterson Road,
that's the one.
yeah.
We should check on that later on. This, that was moving along pretty quickly, so later on this fall or into this early spring to see if that's finished. We should follow up on those.
sure,
But other ones that have open permits.
Right.
This board has never done anything with that. We have never contacted the building inspector to say, was it permit closed? Have you made final inspection, or is there concerns? We don't do that. We look at what's there and I guess that's it.
There.
Yeah, that works, that's fine.
Okay.
Make a decision from there. It's not our responsibility, just like
It's not in our,
other town boards that issue special permits or variances or whatever. I guess it's up to them if they have a concern later on that it wasn't adhered to. It's not this board, and I don't know if that ever comes up as an issue, who would deal with it here? Well, I guess we'd go to town administrator, say, hey, your board, or one of our boards gave you this permit or restriction and you ignored it. I guess the town would sue, I guess, take legal action or whatever. It would come from the town, not from individual boards.
but if the permit wasn't closed, isn't that loss of,
Okay,
Oh, cause he's
Don't get
saying
to-
that
don't get-
certificate of
well, the
occupancy.
certificate of ask for new construction.
Yeah, but I
how about
mean-
Plumbing permit.
just, the one thing is, frankly, we don't care, they never close them. If we go out and look at them and the work's finished,
Yeah.
we're gonna value them for what we see.
Okay,
Right.
okay, that answered my question.
Yeah, we have to value what we see, not what we do.
Right.
Understood. Okay, that answers the question.
Okay, any other items for discussion? Okay, I make motion, we close the meeting, and because we're talking individual property values that may affect our final outcome, that we go into executive session. And once we finish with executive session, we will not return to open meeting. Take a roll call vote on this, Mike, Jenny,
Aye.
Fred, I, okay. The meeting adjourned and going into executive session.